We are in Hotel Los Fralles in Alta. This hotel closed in 1993. Hello!
Hello!
We are in the front of what used to be Hotel Los Fralles in Alta.
We are Miranda and Auke, and we love to explore Gran Canaria, and now we're in an abandoned place.
We're going to try to explore this place, and I hope you enjoy this video. This hotel was built around 1890. This hotel closed in 1993 and is left abandoned since. Everything inside the hotel and outside the hotel is destroyed or taken apart. We found a hole in the fence where we got through, so we did not make any damage. And now let's see if everything goes well in the old Hotel Los Fralles. Let's hope we can get in from this side. Let's see what's up. This side is closed. Let's find another way. This is the old Hotel Los Fralles. Now we are on the inside of Los Fralles. They were keeping bees over here for the honey. Look.
Yes, honey.
Yes, honey. Oh, they are still keeping them.
Oh, we are going.
We're going the other way. So now you know where part of the Canary honey is coming from. So we're getting inside the hotel on the expedition route. So that this is the way all the goods came into the hotel, like food and towels. Some parts are collapsed. This hotel has a lot of memories. A lot of people stayed here until 1993. 32 years. This place is abandoned and in decay. Looks like a small bar. They could have a party over here. The part has been on fire. It's a pity. As seen on the old pictures, this place was a very beautiful hotel. A lot of famous people went here, stayed here.
Hello, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. And if you want, you can share this video with friends or on social media. Don't forget to subscribe to ExploGC channel to see every video we post. And click the notification bell to be the first to know when we post a new ExploGC video. And at last, please leave a comment what you think about the content of the video. Thank you so very much. And now let's continue with the video.
Once through the gate, you enter the courtyard with a playground. This leads to the barbecue area. This leads via the warehouses and offices to the bar, where many parties were celebrated. We come out to the courtyard, the garden of Los Fralles. Here is the reception, where everyone was greeted with Bienvenido. Welcome to Hotel Los Fralles. Through the doors, we reach the inner terrace, with open roof and fireplace. At the end, we enter the ballroom and grand dining hall of Hotel Los Fralles. Hidden behind the doors is the large kitchen. In the basement, wine and food were stored because this was the coolest room in the hotel. The upper floor offered 14 apartments and a long, spacious hall. Tafira Alta, nestled in the rolling hills of Gran Canaria, was once home to one of the most enigmatic buildings on the island. a place where the past lingered in every stone, and where whispers of history still echo through its abandoned halls.
The playground had been built in the 1960s when Hotel Los Frailes was still thriving. It was meant to be a joyful retreat for the children of wealthy guests, a place where laughter echoed while their parents sipped cocktails in the Grand Lounge. But something happened, something that turned it from a place of innocence to one of whispered fear. According to an old caretaker, one summer evening in 1972, a young boy named Mateo was playing alone on the merry-go-round. His parents, socialites from Madrid, had left him there while they attended a banquet inside the hotel. No one saw exactly what happened, but when the staff finally went to check on him, he was gone. The search lasted for weeks. Police combed the surrounding area, but there was no sign of the boy, no footprints, no clues. It was as if he had simply vanished into thin air. Some said he had wandered off and fallen into a hidden ravine. Others whispered that he had been taken by something or someone from within the hotel. After the disappearance, families stopped bringing their children to Los Frailes. The hotel's reputation declined, and within a few years, it shut down entirely. The playground was left to rot, a forgotten monument to a tragedy that was never solved. In its prime, the barbecue area and bar were the heart of Los Frailes. Guests gathered here in the warm evenings, laughter filling the air as steaks sizzled on the grill and drinks flowed freely. It was a place of joy, of celebration. But as the years passed and the hotel's fortune declined, the mood shifted, the parties became fewer, the laughter quieter. Staff whispered that the land itself had grown hungry, as if it demanded something in return for all the years of indulgence. Some night wanderers and urban explorers reported the smell of burning wood, though nothing was burning. Others swore they heard clinking glasses, as if the bar was still serving drinks to ghosts of the past. On the windiest nights, a faint laughter could be heard, as if the guests of that final party were still there, forever toasting to a night that would never end. But the most chilling tale came from a group of explorers who dared to visit the site at midnight. As they shone their flashlights over the bar's remains, one of them noticed something on the counter, a freshly poured glass of whiskey. No one had brought it, no one had placed it there, and when they turned away for just a moment, it was gone.
There were rumors. Guests spoke of strange occurrences, lights flickering on their own, whispers in the corridors, and the sound of footsteps when no one was there. Some claimed that the spirits of the monks still roamed the halls, their eternal prayers echoing in the dead of the night.
There was a time when the garden was a place of romance. Wealthy guests strolled along the pathways, lovers carved their initials into the old wooden benches, and musicians played soft melodies during evening gatherings. But one story still lingers, the tale of the lost bride. According to legend, in the 1950s, a young woman named Isabel was set to be married at Hotel Los Frailes. She was the daughter of a powerful Spanish family, and her wedding was to be the grandest event the hotel had ever hosted. The terrace was decorated with hundreds of candles, and the garden was filled with white roses for the occasion. But just before the ceremony, Isabel vanished. Her wedding dress was found near the old stone fountain, abandoned as if she had simply dissolved into the air. Some believed she had run away, escaping an arranged marriage. Others whispered of something more sinister, that she had been taken by the spirits of the land, absorbed into the hotel's growing darkness. For years after, guests reported seeing a woman in white wandering the overgrown pathways of the garden, her face hidden by a delicate lace veil. She never spoke, never acknowledged anyone. She simply drifted, eternally searching for something or someone.
One particular tale stood out. A chambermaid named Elena told of a British gentleman who checked into the hotel in the summer of 1935. He was a man of means, well-dressed and polite, but reserved. He never dined in the main hall, preferring solitude in his room. Then one night he vanished. His belongings remained untouched, the bed unmade, his coat draped over the chair. The staff searched every inch of the hotel. The only thing they found was an old monk robe, dusty, red, and smelling faintly of incense, hanging in his wardrobe.
The inner terrace was not meant for all guests. Unlike the lavish ballroom or the grand dining hall, this space was reserved for the privileged few, aristocrats, artists, and those who had the money or connections to access its exclusive gatherings. Here, away from prying eyes, deals were made, affairs were whispered, and secrets were kept. One legend tells of Don Alvaro Montiel, a wealthy businessman from Madrid who spent his final night at Los Frailes in front of the fireplace. Witnesses claimed he was deep in conversation with a man no one could identify, dressed in dark clothes, his face obscured by shadows. The next morning, Montiel was gone. His room was untouched, his luggage remained. He had simply vanished. The only clue? A glass of red wine still sitting on the terrace table, untouched, beside the fireplace. Hidden behind the grandeur of the grand dining hall, past the heavy wooden doors that separated luxury from labor, lay the kitchen, a vast industrial space where fire roared, knives clattered, and the scent of spices, meat, and fresh bread once filled the air. Unlike the glittering ballroom or the lavish terrace, this was a world of sweat and steel, where chefs worked tirelessly to prepare extravagant feasts for the hotel's elite guests. But beneath the hum of activity, beneath the aroma of roasted meats and simmering stews, something darker lingered. The kitchen of Hotel Los Frailes had a history, one whispered among the staff, passed down from chef to apprentice, a history of disappearances. In the late 1950s, The head chef of Los Frailes, Santiago Ruiz, was one of the most respected culinary minds in Spain. Guests from across the world came to taste his legendary dishes, his saffron-infused paella, his decadent chocolate soufflés, his perfectly seasoned seafood stews. He ruled his kitchen like a king, demanding perfection from his team. But one night, Santiago disappeared. It was just after the final meal had been served. The fires were still dying down. The last of the dishes had been washed, and the kitchen was nearly empty. A few staff members claimed they saw him step into the walk-in pantry to fetch something, a bag of flour, perhaps, or a bottle of wine. But he never came out. At first, his disappearance was thought to be a simple case of a man who had grown tired of his work and fled. But his knife set was still in its place. His jacket was neatly folded on the counter. The grand dining hall was a place of indulgence, a long mahogany table stretching nearly the length of the room, once seated guests beneath a vaulted ceiling painted with faded frescoes. Gilded candelabras bathed the space in golden light, while massive arched windows overlooked the lush gardens. It was here that the wealthy and powerful dined, sipping aged wines and tasting dishes prepared by chefs brought in from Madrid and Paris. It was here that deals were made in hushed tones, and where affairs of both business and romance were whispered over candlelight. But the most chilling tale is that of the unfinished dinner, the night everyone left. But the table didn't. On the night before the hotel unexpectedly closed, a grand banquet was held in the dining hall. Witnesses say the evening began as any other, elegant guests, lively music, and an air of extravagance. But sometime before midnight, something changed. The musicians stopped playing. The guests, mid-conversation, suddenly stood and left, some abandoning their meals, others leaving their wine glasses half full. The reason, no one knows. But when hotel staff entered the dining hall the next morning, the table was still set. The plates of food remained untouched. The glasses, some half drunk, others still filled with deep red wine, glistened in the candlelight. It was as if time had frozen. The top floor of Hotel Los Frailes was reserved for the most exclusive guests, aristocrats, wealthy travelers, and artists seeking privacy. Unlike the standard rooms below, these luxurious apartments were spacious, adorned with antique furniture, velvet drapes, and large windows overlooking the valley of Tafira Alta. But time has not been kind to the upper floors. The grand hallway, once illuminated by golden wall sconces, is now a tunnel of darkness and decay. The once polished wooden floors warped, groaning under each cautious step. The doors, their brass handles tarnished, stand half open, leading into rooms frozen in time. The woman in room 407. Among the many guests who once stayed at Los Frailes, one name is whispered the most. Isabella Llorente, a young woman from Seville who checked into room 407 in the winter of 1963. At night, the staff reported hearing her voice behind the door of her apartment, whispering softly as if speaking to someone, though no one else was ever seen entering her room. Then, one morning, Isabella was gone. Her bed was untouched, her suitcase still at the foot of it. Her shoes sat neatly by the door, as if she had never left. The only thing missing was her notebook. The hotel conducted a thorough search, but no trace of Isabella was ever found.
Around 1890, friars or friars were likely present as part of a religious order involved in education, agriculture, and community service. Tafira Alta, being a more rural and affluent area near Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, was home to religious institutions. Friars are members of certain religious orders within the Christianity, particularly in the Roman Catholic tradition. One significant religion present in Tafira Alta was the Franciscans, who had been active in Gran Canaria for centuries. They were known for their missionary work at schools and assistance to the poor. At the dawn of the 20th century, an English colonel named Arthur Wilbury arrived on the island. Drawn by its beauty and tranquility, he sought to create a haven where travelers could find solace. But before the land became a hotel, it held different kind of sanctuary. It was once a monastery where friars spent their days in prayer and solitude. Its walls crumbling and its wooden beams rotten under the relentless Canarian sun. Yet, something about the place intrigued Wilbury. He saw potential beyond the ruins, imagining elegant guests instead of monks, grand feasts instead of silent suppers, and laughter where once there has been only whispered prayers. By 1910, the transformation was complete. Hotel Los Fralles, meaning the friars, was born. Tafira Alta was one of the first areas in Gran Canaria to attract wealthy foreign visitors, marking the early stages of tourism on the island. In the late 19th century, around 1890, Gran Canaria was becoming known as a health and winter tourism destination, especially among the British and the European elites. Many British merchants, engineers, and retirees came to the Canary Islands for business and health reasons. Tafira Alta, with its cooler climate and green surroundings, became a desirable place for foreigners to seeking fresh air and tranquility. Tafira Alta was a convenient retreat from the busier Las Palmas port area, making it preferred location for early tourism. The development of roads and infrastructure in the late 19th century helped more visitors to reach Tafira Alta comfortably. For decades, the hotel flourished. Aristocrats from England and Spain, artists seeking inspiration, and even the occasionally celebrities walked through the grand entrance, the dining hall, with its high ceilings and chandeliers hosting lavish feasts. The gardens where the scent of flowers filled the air became retreat for those who were looking to escape the bustling city of Las Palmas. As the years passed, the world changed. Air travel became more accessible, and new resorts with modern amenities lured tourists away. The once grand hotel struggled to keep up. By the 1980s, it had become a shadow of its former self. Its rooms are empty. Its halls are silent. In 1993, the doors of Hotel Los Fralles closed for the last time.
We have to be careful because we are not allowed to walk here. So just looking around that nobody sees us. Uh-oh. So we are not allowed to film here and to be here. So we're gonna do a lot of things with the old images.
Rather than ordering us to leave immediately, the man engaged us in a conversation about the hotel's history and its uncertain future. He explained that while the property was up for sale, it was also under nature conservation regulations. This meant that no structural renovations were allowed, and the hotel had to remain in its original state. The only exception was the bar and restaurant area, which could be restored for similar use. However, the rooms, once filled with guests seeking relaxation and luxury, could never be refurbished, ensuring that the hotel could never return to its original purpose. It was a fascinating yet bittersweet revelation. Los Frailes was caught in limbo, too precious to be demolished, yet unable to be revived. Its grandeur would remain frozen in time, slowly fading with each passing year.
Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. Check our website ExploGC.es for more info, more extra content, and all the links to all our social media platforms. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you like, you can watch one of our other videos. See you on the next video of ExploGC. Hasta la próxima. Adiós.